The Kreth Empire had never known defeat. For 3,000 cycles, their fortresses had stood impregnable across 17 star systems, their crimson banners flying as eternal symbols of dominance. The Stronghold on Viridian Prime was their crown jewel, a maze of quantum-locked gates, plasma barriers, and 10,000 elite warriors sworn to die before surrender. Commander Zalthor stood on the observation deck, his 4 eyes scanning the perimeter with satisfaction. The humans had been a nuisance, certainly, but they were contained. Their fleet sat in orbit, crippled and starving, unable to break through the planetary shields. It was only a matter of time before they surrendered or perished. "Commander," his tactical officer hissed, mandibles clicking nervously. "There's a single craft approaching. Human design." Zalthor's scales rippled with amusement. "One ship? Let it come. We'll add its wreckage to our collection." But the craft didn't attack. It simply landed at the main gate, and a single figure emerged, a human female, wearing nothing but standard military fatigues and carrying no visible weapons. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Alliance." Her voice crackled through their communication arrays. "I'm here to retrieve something that belongs to my people. I'm walking in." Laughter echoed through the command center. The audacity was almost refreshing. Zalthor opened the outer gate himself. "Let her enter. I want to see the look on her face when she realizes her mistake." Sarah walked through the first gate. The quantum lock sealed behind her with a sound like thunder. Ahead stretched a corridor lined with plasma turrets, each capable of vaporizing a battle tank. She kept walking. The turrets didn't fire. The Kreth watched, confused, as she passed beneath them without flinching. When she reached the second gate, the guards raised their weapons, but Zalthor's voice stopped them. He wanted to understand this game. Sarah spoke calmly as she walked. 3 months ago, your forces raided the colony on Kepler 442b. You took our supplies, our equipment, and our flag, the flag that my great-grandfather carried when humanity first reached the stars. You mounted it in your trophy hall like we were already extinct. She passed through corridors that had seen 1,000 warriors fall. The Kreth had designed their stronghold to be psychologically devastating. Walls covered with the banners of defeated species, floors stained with the ash of burned worlds. Every step was meant to crush hope. Sarah's boots echoed steadily forward. "You don't understand humans," she continued, her voice carried by the Stronghold's own communication system. Every Kreth soldier heard her words. "You think we're fragile because our bodies break easily. You think we're weak because we value individual lives. You've studied our biology and found us wanting." She reached the central atrium, where 500 Kreth warriors assembled in battle formation. The enormous space could hold 50 tanks. Instead, it held one human woman, standing in a shaft of light from the vaulted ceiling above. "But you never studied our history," Sarah said, meeting Zalthor's gaze across the chamber. "You never asked why a species as physically unremarkable as us conquered our entire solar system before we even had faster-than-light travel. You never wondered why we're the only species in the known galaxy that domesticated predators as companions." She took another step forward. The warriors raised their weapons. "The reason is simple," Sarah said. "We don't stop. Ever. You can kill us, slow us down, make us bleed, but you cannot make us quit. It's not in our biology. It's not in our culture. It's carved into our DNA by 4 billion years of evolution on a planet that tried desperately to kill us and failed every single time." Zalthor descended from his platform. He stood 3 times her height, his exoskeleton capable of crushing steel. "Impressive words, human. But this is where your walk ends. You cannot intimidate us with speeches." Sarah smiled, a predator smile that sent an unfamiliar sensation through the Kreth commander. Something ancient, something primal. "I'm not here to intimidate you," she said. "I'm here to give you a choice. I'm walking to your trophy hall. I'm taking my flag. You can let me walk back out, or you can try to stop me. But understand this, if you choose violence, you're not just fighting me. You're telling humanity that you want a war with a species that has never, in its entire history, lost one." The silence that followed was absolute. "You lost the battle at Thermopylae," Zalthor countered, We studied that. And we won the war, Sarah replied. We always win the wars. Because humans have a unique ability, we remember. Every defeat becomes a lesson. Every fallen soldier becomes a reason to fight harder. You kill one of us, you create 1,000 enemies who will never forgive, never forget, and never stop coming. She walked forward again. The warriors didn't fire. Your stronghold is impressive, Sarah continued, passing through the ranks of soldiers who parted involuntarily before her. But you know what's more impressive? When my ancestors crossed frozen wastelands with nothing but fur and fire. When we built cities in deserts that should have killed us. When we looked at the ocean and said, I'm going to cross that. When we looked at the moon and said, I'm going to walk there. She reached the trophy hall. The crimson flag of the Kreth Empire hung above 100 conquered banners. Among them, worn but unmistakable, was the blue and white standard of humanity. Sarah climbed the steps to the display. No one stopped her. She unhooked the flag, folded it carefully, and tucked it under her arm. Then she turned and walked back through the stronghold, through the 500 warriors, through the gates and barriers and weapons that had never failed before. Zalthor watched her go. He could have killed her with a single command. His entire command staff waited for that command. But something in her walk, the absolute certainty, the complete absence of fear, had communicated a truth more powerful than any weapon. This wasn't bravery. This was something beyond bravery. This was a species that genuinely didn't understand the concept of impossible. Sarah reached her ship and turned back one final time. The flag was all I came for today. Tomorrow, if my people are still suffering, I'll come back. And the day after. And the day after that. We have a saying, Commander. You can kill us, but you can't beat us, because we're too stupid to know when we're beaten. She left. The gates sealed behind her. 3 days later, the Kreth withdrew from Viridian Prime. They told themselves it was a tactical reallocation, but every soldier who had stood in that stronghold knew the truth. They had looked into the eyes of a species that evolution had forged into an unstoppable force, and they had blinked first. The stronghold still stands, its walls intact, but the crimson banner now flies at half-mast, not in mourning but in respect. Because on that day, the Kreth learned what countless species throughout human history had learned before them. You don't stop humans by building walls. You stop them by getting out of their way.